All right, everyone. Chaosmonaut practice is wrapping up. This is Jake Osmonaut here. And here's Joe's pedal board. These are the knobs we're usually fiddling with. But today we are at the master workstation here, twiddling these knobs and getting some stuff added to Reaper, getting some of the tracking done for Joe's guitars. And we have a pretty interesting setup here with 8 full inputs and mics. So Joe is going to introduce us to those.
So if you've seen me talk about my Dunable there that's got the split pickup with the special bass pickup on the 7th string, so that bass string goes to these two bass amps, the SVT CL and this acoustic 320 on the left. It's got to sit on the floor, otherwise it will rattle off the cab. For the SVT CL over here, we're running straight DI into the interface. We've got 4 different heads and 2 different cabs here, but for today's recording, we're using the Marshall JCM 900, channel A with the preamp gain completely maxed, and then the PV bass Mark IV for the other guitar signal. So for miking the Marshall, so the Marshall I like for that little crunchy top end. We have an SM57 on the bottom right speaker, and we've got this R121 ribbon mic on the bottom left. And so what we did was we used my looper pedal. We got the tones all dialed in on the amps, looped the main riff that we wanted to record today, and then we isolated each microphone and listened to it in headphones as it's playing through the amps, and then setting that mic position to whatever sounded best. And we did that with all 7 mics that we have set up today. So SM57 ribbon mic on the Marshall, and then here on the PV bass Mark IV, I use this as my high headroom clean amp. We are using MD 441 down here, right on that grill for the right speaker, and then we're using another SM57 on the left speaker with a slight angle towards the dust cap. On the AC, or the acoustic 320, we have this 2x15 cab that it's got Eminence Deltas in it, and we've got this MD 421 mic, kind of a little bit off center. It sounds really good, a little with a little bit of distance, because it really handles that high volume quite well, and it isolates like amazing. Like, you don't get any of the guitar bleed through when we're miking through that. Now we've got 2 different room mics. We've got this Octava MK whatever 2500. This is a tube mic. It's got 2 preamps sitting on the floor over there. And as we're cycling that riff through, we were literally moving this around the room until we found the sweet spot that sounded the best. And I was, playing in front of it, and we were getting this like interesting proximity effect that was causing it to be like kind of bassy and clippy. So I actually had to move where I was playing in the room to over here, so that it got the more of a natural tube warm sound, and it sounds like really freaking good. And then our last mic is this C414B over here, just as far away, again moving around until we found the sweet spot. And actually, like, if we mix this with just the bass mics and this mic, it actually captures the guitars really, really well. So what we're going to do through this whole section is, we recorded this whole 9-minute section with all 8 inputs, but we're probably going to be taking parts of the section where we're going to be either really dropping some of these mics down, or turning them off completely and then turning them on selectively and ramping them up as we get to the end of the section, just to get that, a little bit of intimacy in the beginning, and like this kind of wall of sound at the end, that, this chaos that is uncontrollable before we move on to the next section. So this will be our configuration for the rest of the album recording going into, so we just did the Dying Light today. Whispers of Extinction will probably be next. So there we go. It's gonna sound freaking cool. And a big thanks to Bob for loaning me a bunch of these mics. Bob, you're a freaking rock star. And this has been such a fun journey to be able to actually experiment as much as we want for free. So thank you.